Hello, dear friends and family. Welcome again, and a special welcome to new people on our platform today. And of course, my sister and myself, we are here every day to answer to the $1 billion question: why Onpassive? And of course, today we want to be talking to you about how Onpassive is going to change lives of people living with disability, people born and are living with disability, especially in the part of the world where we come from. Hi, sis.
Hi, Sister Comfort. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to show today. Don't forget what we're saying. Why Unpassive? Thank you for joining us every day. Religiously, not religiously, but conscientiously. And then, secondly, thank you for subscribing. For those who have subscribed, for those who haven't, on any channel that you're watching for, kindly consider subscribing. You're welcome. Join in the conversation.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys. One thing we encourage our fellow brothers and sisters in the house is that if you are already part of Unpassive, invite a loved one or share the video with them, but then do not forget follow up with a link or a QR code where you tell them what to do such that they can be able to go into our ecosystem, have a look, and see if they can get something for themselves. And so, sis, today we are talking about these special people in our lives. Guys, help us tell us in the chat section how it is in the country or part of the world where you come from. We are trying to localize this because people born with disability in the part of the world where we come from, most parts of Africa, they are regarded like a burden. They're being stigmatized. They go through a lot. They're being neglected. They're being abandoned, and they live a horrible life in most cases. And so the time is now, since Mr. Mufareh has made it possible for everybody. Everybody here means even people living under these conditions. Says,
Yes, it's very important because then take for example a mom. Sometimes I've seen a husband abandon the wife because of one child that they had that had disability, and
mhm,
I'm not just talking about disability as in any kind of form, even a child that had sickle cell. And don't forget, sickle cell is a result of both mother and father here. So
yeah,
they
the
they
DNA.
abandon, yes, sickle cell, they abandoned that child. The man abandoned his wife and that child with the other children just because of
Mhm,
that. And why are we saying Unpassive has room for everybody? Because in the parts of Africa where we come from, people like that need constant, like going to the hospital. Take for sickle sellers,
mhm,
for example, they need to go to the hospital. They need medication, they need attention, but parents normally don't have enough money because it takes a lot to take care of them. And then talk about those that have disability. Any kind of disability that you can talk of is different from what it is in the Western world. We don't
yeah,
even have specific disability centers for you to even take these children to, for if the parents cannot care for them, for them to take the children to, or
mhm,
even for them to have respite, or even the parent to have respite, or some kind of social amenities for them.
mhm,
There's not, no, they don't look at them, you understand. I know recently, take for example in Nigeria, they're beginning to um call attention, you understand, draw attention.
mhm.
And these are the jobs of NGOs in Nigeria, not even the government.
Right.
So there are
Yeah.
NGOs that are beginning to do that bit by bit, just in specs in
Mhm.
Africa at the moment. So people like that, they need to come in. Some of them are wanting to do something for themselves,
Right.
especially those,
Yeah.
to look at our blind and deaf community within our Euros community. You understand, they want to do something for themselves.
Mhm.
There's Braille also in Nigeria for the blind,
Mhm.
and they are able to use that to do their writing. But
Yeah.
nobody ever thinks about them when it comes to business. And business like this is for everybody. It's for
Yeah.
everybody. That is the
E-
thing about Unpassive.
Exactly. You know, sis, because one of the things we need to know when children are born in this condition back home in Africa, they give them names. They are devils, they are
S-
witches and wizards. They tell them all, they call them
label
all
them.
sorts of names. They just leave them out there for them by themselves. Our sister Ivy Mix is already doing some good work out there. She
Mm,
goes around, does a bit what she can, and she
mm,
supplies a few stuff down
mm,
there in Nigeria. That's just a
mm,
tip of the iceberg. Thank you, sis, for
mm,
doing this. But then imagine what we can do as a team. Talking about giving them skills, for the first time in my life, this was in Germany. We out. That's when we were studying. We had this. We had to just go out for an excursion, and we had to visit this center of people, living with disability and so on. I was amazed, and I
mm,
was talking to myself. I hope nobody. Thanks be to God, nobody heard. I'm sure I would have been in trouble. I was like, "Is this how useful these type of people are?"
mm,
Is this how important, because back home, these are nobodies. They are
mm,
good for nothing.
mm,
They're just there, whether they eat or not, whether they trim their nails or not. But then, behold, sis, the
mm,
Audi, the Mercedes, and all of the German cars we run. You know who assembles the small bits of the parts? They are
mm,
people living with disability. They have a whole
mhm.
center where they work. They are there, some live there, some come and go and stuff.
Wow.
Listen, I was so amazed. I was like, God help. I was thinking, how can this thing ever be come to my part of the world?
Yes.
They're happy. They're happy.
Mm,
They have choices. I want
mhm.
this. I don't
Yes.
want that. This is
Mm,
how I want it, and it's
yes.
done. And they give them all the time and the love that they deserve because they're
Mm,
already in trouble and not being born like that.
mm,
But then back home they're just like, oh my God. But then why are we telling you this, guys? We say this because Mr. Mufareh has done it all. The
mm.
ecosystem covers everybody and anybody in any part of the world. We can do a lot to these people. Aziz, I know that before I hand over to you, earlier on you were talking about how our governments are trying now to think about it, but it's something that still needs to go a long way.
Yes.
As much as we were planning to provide the material, the material needs of these people, a lot of education of the communities need to be carried out because these people, no matter how much you can take care of them, if they're still being stigmatized, say that one, it doesn't still help. But then good news is that a lot like never before can be done to them now as we speak, sis.
There are many of them that are actually very business oriented. There are many that can learn things. There are many that are very good with their hands. So things that they do needs to be showcased. And that is why we're coming out here to say that, look, do not look down on them. If you have any of them in your community, in your family, make sure they come in, share your link with them, make sure they come, especially those that are, independent, and also parents that have children that are dependent as
Oh
well,
yeah,
because
yeah.
parents will need extra money to cater for those children. Those children can have actually affiliate accounts for themselves, that when they grow older they can mind their own business and actually look after their
Mhm.
own accounts.
That,
But
that would
also,
then be in the yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
so
Mhm.
that will mean that at least by the time they get older, they can run their businesses. And for those who are really business minded, including those who are very talented, doing whatever, they can
Mhm.
showcase what their talents are by having an affiliate account on our own net, or
Mhm.
on the blog, or if they are very good at talking, if they're
Mhm.
very good in singing, their broadcast, podcast is there for them to upload their music, things like that. So please don't exclude them, because our brother Ash has already included everybody, and once he's included everybody,
Mhm.
they are inclusive. So it's an
Right.
inclusive, opportunity as well.
Exactly, exactly. That's a good news here because there's so much we can do. There's some who are just so bad that they can't do anything at all. They can't help themselves because even the mental capacity they don't have. I think we are capable as a family to put up those homes here and there, and employ people to say, hey, take care of these people. This is how much they need. This is what you do. And then we put the people under check, the people we call or pay to take care of them. We make
Yes.
sure we check them to be sure that they are not treating these people badly. They're giving them the best quality of life. They're doing just what you want to be done for them to make them most comfortable. What can be more satisfying, says, because remember, that's why Ash hates money, the name money, because when you are money oriented, you don't have time to plan for people and you
No.
don't even find joy. Because what brings joy is just the fact that you find this young lady or this young man crawling on the floor. You get them this sturdy tricycle or bike or means of
Yeah.
transport, get a
Mm,
home for them, get them
mm,
clean clothes, and give them a smile. What can be more satisfying? And that's something we are capable of doing. And of course, let's always remember them. We are the good news here is that we already have ambassadors. We have people already on the ground, like our sister Ivy makes. It's just
mm,
to join her, say, see, stick us there because you
mm.
already know where they are. We start from there, from what we have, and it spreads all over because our wings, we can spread our wings as wide as we want them to go because, of course, we are well equipped. That's the good news. Yes, yes.
And you can imagine the power of our community, our family community. For those of us that come from Africa, we can, and that is where also MFA comes in, Missionaries for Africa, because we can
Mm-hmm,
come together and go to a community and especially join with those who are already on ground and tell them, they ask, so where is this need,
mm-hmm,
especially for a disability, where we can have a center for disabled people. In that center you could have from housing, as in residence, to social amenities. Then you have a place where in there as well where parents can have respite. You understand? That means because parents need to rest as well, that kind, and people
mm-hmm,
that are
mm-hmm.
taking care of them.
True.
If we come together in our community and build one big massive one in each community all over Africa like that, it's going to be much, much, much better. And we don't need to wait on the government to actually do that, because the government never warms up to anything like that. But until when they see things happening in that capacity, you see that the government will want to know exactly who are the people who have done this and
Behind this.
why as this.
Exactly.
And that's when they want to step in. Then they want to look good as well, as in they want
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm,
show their own, how will I call it, they want to contribute as well.
mm-hmm.
There's this
Definitely.
adage in my language that that it's a child that raises up its hand like this, that the mother helps, that kind of thing. So many a times in Africa, our governments, they won't say anything, they won't do anything.
Mm-hmm,
But when
mm-hmm.
they see the people in the community doing something, which means they've raised their own hand themselves, they've started helping other people in their community, they're
Exactly.
helping, then they come in and step in. Oh, we
Mm-hmm,
want to join and give our own token as well, that kind of thing. So we
mm-hmm.
we, we are really, we are really giving our heart out there so that people have an understanding that this is an inclusive business, is an inclusive company, so they should not be left out in whatever, in whatsoever way,
Ex-
in whatever capacity.
Exactly. See, sometimes too we complain a lot and forget to do what our own part, right? Most
Mm,
of the time we complain about the government, maybe complaining too because we lack the means. But then here is the opportunity for us to be the change that we want to be, to see. That's an opportunity Ash is giving us to be the change that we want to see in our community. That is that opportunity now for us to raise our arms and government comes like, yes. But then we don't always have to wait for them, fold our arms, wait and complain. And well, the days of complaining are all history because the present now and the future are way too bright to be kept to selves. So, sis, I don't know about you, but I think that we should be gradually rounding up. Or what do you think?
Yes, definitely. So what we're saying is, please reach out to them if you know anyone or anybody that is in that capacity. Please reach out to them with your QR code or your link and explain to them what Unpassive is all about, and so that they can fish for themselves. You understand me? They can
Mhm.
be, their self-esteem will be boosted. You understand me? Then they can even be employers sooner or later, depending on what they do, with Unpassive. So it's very important that we bring them in as well, because they have the capacity to do business, they have the capacity to learn this business, a simple, ABC plug and play it is. It's not rudiments of strategy of this one of I know there's nothing like that. It's already half of the job, majority of the job is already done, the heavy lifting. So
Mm-hmm.
for them to
Mm-hmm.
come in and have an understanding as well, so that they can be included. And for parents that have children that have disability, they need to come in as well, because they need to be in a position where they can give that child the best. In fact, sometimes even enough funding to adapt their homes to the suitability of that
Mm-hmm.
child,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think I really appreciate that, sis. Oh, you're freezing. Yeah, sure. Of course, the good news, like we said, is that we are up to the task. That's the good news. So, guys, if you like what we are doing, I know you've been supporting us all the time. Go ahead and do it, of course. Share the video if you find it important, but then always accompany it with a link. Go to the OES, get a link, affiliate link, or anyone, depending on who you've discussed with, and add it to this video and help someone be part of this ecosystem. Because when you talk about disability, it's something that if we want to go into detail, we can spend the whole day. But then, depending on what state theirs is, some are capable of doing something. We empower them. Some who can't do anything, we take over the responsibility of making them feel comfortable. We are capable of doing both. So let's
Yes.
just go ahead and share, subscribe to our channels, follow us on Facebook, click on the code or on the link that you see anywhere if you are new to this platform. Ask us question in on Facebook Messenger on our comment section, and we will be back to you soon.
Okay.
All
So
right.
thank
Thank you, guys.
thank
Thanks.
you everyone. We
Thanks,
love
and
you
see you
all.
soon.
Bye.
Much
Thank
love from
you.
us, guys. Thank you. See
Bye.
you soon. Have a
Bye.
wonderful weekend. And of
Weekend.
course, there's a video coming tomorrow, Saturday, at the same time, 1 o'clock. A pigeon video giving some useful updates or information to the pigeon speaking community. Thank you, guys, and bye.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.